Greetings and good evening on tonight. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's Creators Talk, where we talk about content creation, things that can help creators. Most importantly, we want to encourage those that are watching, encourage creators, and just have a well-rounded conversation about things creators deal with. So on tonight, everyday content creators are told what they must do to grow. Post every day, choose one niche, follow every trend, and never miss an upload. Does that sound familiar? But is all of that advice actually helping creators, or is some of it holding them back? Tonight, we're reacting to popular creators' advice and sharing what we agree with and what we completely disagree with, and what creators should do possibly instead. Welcome to tonight's Creators Talk. And I'm going to bring in my friends, my friendly creators. We got C.S. Lewis, Mr. Charlton Lewis. How you doing, sir? Welcome.
Good to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, always. And we got Jay Reese. What's going on, Mr. Jeremy?
What's going on? Thank you for having me on again.
Yes, sir. We're going to get into this tonight. We're going to react tonight to some expert advice. Y'all know they think we experts too, right? Y'all know that, right? We experts. Some people think we experts, but no, we're gonna. So tonight we're gonna react to some popular. Some you may know, some you may not know. We're gonna react to some creators and their advice on tonight. And of course, if you're watching, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also if you got comments, if you got questions, or if you wanna, maybe give your response to some of the videos that we watched tonight, feel free to put those in the chat as we talk about it. So, all right, y'all ready to get started with this gentleman? All right. So, our first reaction, we're gonna go with the funny couple content and why this hook works. And of course, we got the expert marriage content creator, Jay Reese, on. So we're going to watch this video and we're going to react to it. I want to make sure y'all can hear it. Let me know if y'all can't hear this.
Really? I feel like other girls.
So he ended up in the cast. All right.
Yeah, he hurt now.
Does that I guess without getting us in trouble, does that seem a little familiar, guys? Does that seem a little familiar?
Yeah.
You mean replicating something and getting in trouble with your spouse?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Yes, but so Jeremy, I mean, I'm gonna start with you because you the master of it. But tell me what you see in this, because it may be some stuff I'm missing. But again, for those watching, we are reacting to some creators, some experts content. So tell me, Jeremy, why this works and how the hook works.
I won't say I'm an expert. I'm still learning, but I would say with this particular video, why this one is effective is because they're using what you call a hook swap. So what that means is you go find a trending video that's been getting a lot of the views or whatever, and you basically put their hook in that video at the beginning of your video so that it's already going viral. So, the algorithm recognizes it because it's already pushing something similar to that video out with the original video. And so you take maybe the first 3 seconds, which, is the hook of the video, and you swap it, meaning you put it in front of your video. And then once you put the hook in front of your video, you just continue on with it. And that's basically what he did. Or you kind of duplicate it in a sense and make it relatable to, your video. So he swapped out his hook, got something familiar with her putting her hand out to the animal, and then he replicated that with, his spouse or his girlfriend or whatever in the video, to make it relatable. So that's just a basic hook swap. Like businesses do it and it's effective. Like there's so many ways
Mm-hmm.
you can go with the hook swap and it can apply to any niche. It doesn't just have to be, uh, you know, your niche or their niche. As you can see, he just used the animal and he kind of made that, similar to how he put his hand up with his spouse or whatever. So the hook swap is effective. Like it's something easy. It doesn't take much effort at all. Just do a Google search and find what's trending, something that's popular right now, and just put it at the beginning of your video and create something.
Yeah, I've seen
So
that before. Go ahead, Charles.
does the video you create always have to relate to the hook, or can it be completely unrelated? Like, I'm just trying to figure out how flexible this is.
So usually you want it to be relatable in some way. So in this case, I mean, I'm not calling my spouse an animal or anything, but he kind of made it relatable in that way, like the wild animal coming up and telling the animal to stop. He made that relatable to the same thing, with his spouse or whatever. So I've seen the hook swaps uh, where they made it relatable, which I know y'all have probably seen. This is somebody like a slide, like they're about to fall, and that's the hook at the beginning, and then they slide into their video and they just talk about inviting you to church or something. So they didn't necessarily fall, but they slid right into the video and got your attention. It just continued on from the hook in the beginning.
Okay. Right. So you just kind of take the other videos hook and then I guess you try to make it relatable. I've seen that too, where maybe somebody's getting chased by a bull or something, and the bull knock them in the air, and then that person will slide into the scene and talk about their video. So that's
Yeah, I've seen
that's
one where
go ahead.
they had the like a horse or something. It'll kick you and you fly into some chairs and you get up after the hook, and it's like the horse kick you. So it's relatable and it's continuing on from the hook.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that guy, I guess I know that guy. I've seen a lot of his videos. He's a comedian, of course. But for those that are watching, we are reacting to some expert creators' videos, and I'll show this again just for those who may not have seen it.
Really? I feel like other girls Instagram.
So he does the same motion, and it gets him, of course, in a cast. Jeremy, y'all got plans to do something similar to that?
I don't know now. I might have to.
that one may not fly. And the reason
It
I was
might
gonna
not
ask you
fly.
that too, though. I was going to ask you how do you guys ever consider recreating other people's marriage skits, or are you pretty much like you just want to do everything strictly unique?
We have our own unique takes on things, but we will see other people do something because most people in I would say your niche, just say competitors, they'll start doing similar videos and it's a trend. So it's good sometimes to see those videos and replicate it in your own way. Don't take the exact script, but take the concept and put it in your own way, put your own spin on it, but it be kind of similar to that video. That way the algorithm knows, okay, this must be a trend because they did it, and they're getting a lot of views, and maybe we'll push their video to that same audience. So yeah, we definitely do that.
Okay.
Got
Do,
you.
Jeremy, do you think that the hook swap videos like this, do you think this is something that creators should add, or I guess maybe occasionally do? And maybe you can elaborate. Like, do you see that it using like other creators' content, do you see that it gets you maybe more views or more, the algorithm responds a little, differently when you do the hook swap? What do you expect?
Yeah, I've seen it be effective. I haven't been able to do as many as I wanted to. I want to revisit. I have a couple, and they actually did pretty good. You want to try to hop on it when it's fresh, like in trending. So if this was trending, 6 months ago when you hook swap, it might not work as good as it did. But you want to hop on it while it's fresh and it's going viral at the time.
Gotcha. Okay. The hook swap. All right, let's get to some of these comments. Kit Samero says, hello. Hello there, Kit Samuel. Thank you for being here. Latasha says, be careful now. I think that's when we was talking about should we do a video similar to it with our spouses. I think that's what she was talking about. What's this about? Gold Creek says, what's this about? Of course, we're reacting to experts' videos in this. I guess they got the picture after that. Oh. Yes, we're reacting. Let's see what Jeremy's better half says. I like the idea of that video of having Jeremy in a wheelchair. Wow. After thinking
Yeah,
he
yikes.
got me.
Yeah, so yeah, we definitely won't be recreating that one.
Somebody says, do we support Obama? Well, he was our president. Yes, of course. Absolutely.
This is Creator Talks, not
Right.
politics.
I know. We're not talking politics, but we love all of our presidents, for sure.
Next episode, maybe.
Yeah, maybe next episode we can talk about it. Good evening, Sir Walter. Yes, sir. Good to have you, sir. We appreciate you being here. All right. We're going to jump on the next video. Okay, this is, let's see. All right, this is the one talking about identity shift. I like this one. I didn't think about it, but he's making a lot of sense. So let's check this one out.
All right, so if you want to read 50 books this year, there is an identity shift you can develop that makes it feel effortless. And the identity is embodying the identity of being a reader. If you start telling yourself, I'm a reader, you can psy-op yourself into genuinely believing it. And what does a reader do? Well, a reader always carries a book with them. Maybe this one, Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. When they're on the toilet, someone who reads will probably read a book rather than scroll Instagram. For 20 minutes, half an hour before sleeping, a reader would probably bust out their Kindle or a physical book, turn the lamp on and start reading before bed. This is the idea that habit change is often much easier if it comes downstream of identity change. So what would change about your life if you started to consider yourself a reader rather than someone who struggles to read?
Powerful.
That is very powerful.
Yeah.
Consider yourself a reader versus.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlton, you suggested that one, so I'm gonna let you speak
really,
on that.
Really, what he said at the end there, where he said habit change is more effective when it comes downstream of identity change. That's what really resonated with me, because one thing that we often talk about as creators is imposter syndrome, especially when you're starting in the beginning. You don't necessarily feel like the expert that you're making yourself out to be, whether it's the specific topic that you're presenting about, and even just as a content creator in general, you feel like, I'm just learning this, and you don't feel like you're presenting a very genuine package. And this just kind of really goes back to scripture that says, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yes.
So it's like, if you think of yourself in the posture of this person, then doing the habits, especially the consistency of the habits, kind of comes more fluid. So in this context, he's talking about being a reader. I think everybody aspires to be a more consistent reader. We all have bookshelves that are full of books that we tell our best selves that, like, I'm going to get around to reading these. And he's just saying, think of yourself as a reader, and you'll do things like carry a book to you even when you're in the restroom, or carry a book with you probably if you're riding in the car, or just, anywhere that you would normally be scrolling on your phone, you would probably learn to have a book in your hand. And it's the same thing, as a content creator, step into the identity of whatever it is that you're doing. For Jeremy, it's comedy, it's relationship, marriage material, encouraging people in the relationships. For Brian, it's about entrepreneurship, it's about tech reviews, it's about all things content creation.
Wow.
And I will say this, particularly when it comes to presenting anything online, you don't have to be the expert. You just need to know a little something more than the person standing next to you. And that's really all you need. There's definitely grace to
Yeah.
grow.
Hmm.
And just start from whatever knowledge base that you're at, commit to being a student of the craft. Just keep posting.
Yeah. Nah, that was real powerful. I liked it. It kind of it kind of reminded me of Atomic Habits, James Clear. Kind of.
Yeah.
I did think about that scripture that you talked about. So man, think it, so is he. But in the book Atomic Habits, of course, he talks about just making small changes, and I like that idea of thinking of yourself as a reader. And with James Clear, he says, of course, just doing the small things. Like you can read for, if you read for 5 minutes, you can consider yourself saying, I read for the day. So it's just those small things. And like you said, being consistent. So if you do that, if you do it more and more every day, then, it adds up a whole lot.
Yeah, I think that also, that goes into the content creation. Like the more you do it, you say I'm a content creator and just speak to yourself, I'm a good content creator. And the more and more you do the editing, the more and more like you're gonna learn and you're gonna get better with how your videos turn out, which if you go back and look at my first ones, you'll be like, whoa, he's come a long way. Uh, so I would say that applies in that situation too. When you first start out, I know Brian often talks about this, how you talk on camera.
Hmm.
Go back to looking when I first started talking on camera. It was like so the more and more you do it and you tell yourself that and give those positive affirmations, then you'll become better and become what you're trying to affirm.
Yes, sir. Totally agree. Totally. All right. Let's see. Tasha says, I like this concept. Thank you, Charlton. We often think we need to be an expert. Yeah, that is so true. You nail on the head with that. We do think we need to be the experts. And like you said, Charlton, we jump into that imposter syndrome where we stop creating because I'm not as good as these other people. I don't look as good, or I don't have the best camera. I don't have this. And I look at, of course, Charlton, most of your first content that you created for Just Teach, a lot of people won't know it, but it was your phone. It was just you and your phone. And
And it's funny you mentioned that because there was another clip that I was going to send you from that same guy, the Ali Abdal guy,
mhm,
and he did a review of this other guy's YouTube platform that has over 1 million followers, and to date, he still just films from his
from
from
his
his
phone.
camera phone. So
Oh
he was
man,
just highlighting the fact that you can upgrade the gear, but you don't have to in order to be effective.
true, true, true. Yeah, I think a lot of people they run into that where they think they gotta have the best gear. I mean, let's be real honest. This gear is expensive. It can be real expensive, but you don't have to have the best gear to be uh, a content creator. I think the key is maybe like he just said in the video, identifying as a creator, but not only that, just try to be consistent. That's something I know I'm trying to work on more and more, but I think consistency is definitely going to be key, and just doing the small things. Just, hey, if I can post one post a day, go for it.
Yeah,
Jer-
for sure.
yeah. I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to say, Jeremy, but man, that's a good video. I like that video. That was that was good.
I need to start speaking that reader over myself because
You and me both. I'm identifying as a
yes,
reader, a better reader.
yes, I'm a better reader today.
Yes, get these books off these shelves, wipe off some of this dust for sure. All right, thank you, Charlton, for helping us with our book. All right, let's get to let's see our next video. And let me see. Oh yeah, this is the one I think I came up with. This is Gary V.
I like Gary Vee a lot.
Yeah, Gary V has a lot of good stuff to say. All right, let's see what.
The number one thing that will change every person in this room's life financially is making content for social media. If you are not creating content, videos or pictures for social media every day, you're making a fundamental mistake. The number one asset in the world is attention. Whoever has the most attention wins. Whoever has the most attention and knows what to do with the attention, they really win.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought I would share that. Of course, Gary Vee, he has a lot of good stuff out there. If you don't follow him, definitely you should catch some of his videos. I mean, he always talking creative stuff, encouraging creators. But he just hit the nail on the head. You gotta create content, and there is a way to be more relevant. And I think we showed it in the previous video. Just being consistent, creating the content, and as somebody said, I heard somebody say today, just do the thing, right? Just do it, and you'll definitely win. But like he said in this video, if you do want to win, I think sometimes we get, I don't know, it's a lot of things that go into creating content and people get discouraged. And I know we've all hit roadblocks. We've even talked about this behind the scenes, which we're going to talk about, how creators hit those stumbling blocks. And and it's real. It's really real. But to win on any platform, you just gotta create the content. And you'll come out winning. I'll let y'all chat on that or say something on that.
Yeah, it's funny because it sounds like it's just motivational speech, but when you go to a lot of these content creator expos and symposiums and stuff like that, a good percentage of the presentations are all just motivation. And I just being in the room, like with other content creators, and I mean like thousands of people who paid like hundreds of dollars, tickets, hotels, sometimes the registration fees, like $800,000. These people are paying small fortunes, just to attend an event. And it's because they believe in what they're doing. So it's like a lot of this is just the motivation. Do you have the motivation to do it? And I don't think people really realize like that's what it is at the end of the day. They feel like they need to be the prettiest. They feel like they need to have the best, equipment. They feel like they need to be the smartest. It's just like, you don't need to have any of that, at the end of the day. You just need to show up. You show up and just, again, like what you said, Moneyball, or just like that 1%, just tweak it a little bit. All of us are like that. Every time we do an upload, we see something that went well and something that we can improve. And I think Jeremy can attest to that. Just in the couple of weeks that we've been doing these creator talks, I think every time Jeremy has come with a new aspect to his presentation. I think he started off with different. What did you do? You had lighting, background, microphone. What all you been doing, man?
Jeremy's been upgrading.
He's been upgrading. He's been tweaking ever since.
For sure.
Yeah, and I would speak on, I believe you invest what you believe in. So, like you said, people pay that money to go to those different events and, hear that motivation or get different ideas, hear what's successfully working for other creators, and maybe I can adapt that and do that as well. So, like you said, I invested in lighting. This microphone, it might not be the short mic like Charlton got over there, but it'll do for now. So
it sounds great, man.
Sounds good.
Hang out right there.
For sure.
Yeah, I take baby steps. So I might, people say, "Oh, I can't afford this." It's some affordable options out there that can compete with some of the most expensive items. So I would say, don't necessarily think I got to have all this money. Start out with what you have. So far to date, I've shot every video with my phone. Now, the phones have gotten so much better since I started out, so you can see a difference in the quality. But even with the difference in the quality maybe a couple of years ago, I still made it work. And some of that, as far as quality goes, is editing. That's something you can learn. You can increase the way your videos look with editing as well. So, yeah.
I don't know. That's real talk. Yeah, for sure. And you don't have to have the most expensive equipment. Like you said, our phones. I mean, these phones they shoot in 4K, most of them. So
Yeah.
they. I
Now
mean,
mine shooting 8K, so get you a Samsung.
Oh, okay, Samsung. But I mean, 8K. Okay, so look at that. So your phone is able to create content. I mean, you got it right here in your lap, whatever. You got it. It's right there. But you have the tools, and I'm a big proponent of free, like applications. If I don't have to pay for it, whatever I can use that's free, if it's working, I'm just gonna keep using that. And so, yeah, just sit right there, create the content. But the main thing is just creating it and showing up. That's the main thing. And I think you'll be successful if you do that. I think somebody just said that, and actually someone said that in the comments. Just show up.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's very true.
That's real talk right there. Just show up.
Yeah.
Whatever platform you're on, you got to show up. You don't show up, nobody knows you're there. This is a great question. I hope. I didn't think about that, but can y'all, those out there watching, can y'all hear the clips? I hope y'all can hear the clips that we play. I think they can,
Yeah.
but
I was just asking because it sounded like the volume was slightly lower
yeah.
on the clips versus when we talk. So, but somebody replied and said that they can't hear it. So I just wanted to make
They
sure.
can't hear it. No, that's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they did answer. Okay, I didn't see that. Yes, they can hear it. Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, we're going to move right along. That was Gary V. All right. Okay, yes, they confirming they can hear him. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. All right. Next one. I love this one too.
Collaborations. Collaborations represent less than 3% of all posts on Instagram, and yet collab posts are consistently the best performing kind of post. The best kind of post on Instagram is not a reel, not a carousel, not a story. It's a collab, because collabs basically take two audiences and combine them into one, which could essentially double your potential number of viewers. I think there's two main reasons why we don't see more collabs on Instagram. Number one, people think collabs are just between creator and brand, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, just a few weeks ago on my Instagram, I posted about, hey, let's all help each other find collabs, comment below, and you can find someone to collab with. I'll even link that post down in the show notes below so that you can look that post up and go to the comment section and look for people to collab with. But what I noticed in scrolling through those comments was a lot of times people were like, I'm a creator in insert niche, and I'm looking to collab with brands in that niche. I'm a fitness creator, and I'm looking to collab with fitness brands. That's not necessarily the only way to go about collaborations. I think what you're thinking of, if that's how you approach collabs, is brand partnerships or brand sponsorships or brand deals, different names for the same thing. But that's not necessarily what a collab is. A collab is just two people posting together, essentially. And so instead of looking for brands and businesses to collaborate with, I want you to look for other creators who are just like you to collaborate with. The only two criteria that they need to meet are, number one, in a similar niche. It doesn't have to be the exact same, but similar. And number two, they have a similar amount of engagement. Even if they have way more or way less followers than you, if they have a similar number of average views or average engagement, that can be a really successful collaboration. In fact, some of my best performing posts in the history of my Instagram are collaborations with my quote unquote competitors, because I'm a firm believer that all ships rise together. And so when I collab with Marketing Harry on a carousel, or when I collab with Modern Millie on a reel, it has serious viral potential. And we have both of our creative minds coming together to educate, to entertain, or to teach our audience something.
Powerful.
Whoa.
I like it. Yeah.
Jeremy. Okay.
Yeah.
This was
like
this was that is fire for sure. Jeremy, this was inspired by Jeremy. So I'm gonna give you the floor first to talk about it. But he said so much in this it's great. Very, very good. Jay Reese.
Yeah, I would say collaborations are powerful. So, like, what we're doing right now is a collaboration. We got 24-hour podcasts, 24-hour boss, and when we have Charlton with Just Teach, And then you have me, Jeremy Devion Show. Like we figured out a way, even though our niches are different, we still was able to find a way to collaborate. There's always a way to collaborate with somebody else. Collaborations make up less than 3% of Instagram posts. So you compare that to like carousels and photos, less than 3%, and they consistently outperform everything else. So that means everybody, like a lot of creators are leaving like a lot of opportunities, you know, on the table. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody to collaborate. We saw Brian reached out to an actor from a movie, and he was able to get a yes to get him to come on and interview him.
Complete fire.
And now, yeah, and now you have the actor's audience and Brian's audience coming together. Like there's so much power in, you know, collaboration. People hear collab and they think about immediately, this is a brand. I got to collab with a brand. So I can get that sponsorship, because that's what's big on Instagram right now, is the sponsorships. But you know, people have to learn how to collaborate with you know, one another. And another example is me. You know, Brian's wife, Tasha Hill with Levette Candles. She gave a great idea to collab with me. Of course, I make music as well, so she thought, hey, it'd be a good idea to introduce my candles as a package to collab and bundle with your CD. That was a perfect collaboration. You set the mood with the candles, and you know, create the ambiance, and then you put the CD and the worship music in, and you can spend time with God and have intimate, you know, prayer and worship with collaborating that way. I think there's a misconception that everybody has to stay in their own lane. Like when it comes to competitors, like you can reach out to a competitor and collab and both of you win, versus no, I can't do that, you know, because let's be honest, there's a lot of hating and stuff. So some people don't want to help others, you know, grow. So I believe like people should embrace or lean into collaborations, you know, work together. That's what I think.
Yeah, for sure. Great share, man.
I think it's time for you to come out with another album. If you're talking about setting the mood, you already got the marriage platform.
Yes, sir. Stay tuned. I have 2 songs that I'm possibly gonna be working on soon.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say in reply to that video, if you think about business of like horizontal versus vertical integration, horizontal integration is when businesses essentially that are competitors collaborate together in order to get a certain product off the ground or a certain endeavor off the ground. And that's kind of like what he was talking about grabbing other creators in your niche who do the exact same thing you do, that you guys can kind of vibe off each other and create content. But that's just horizontal integration. I've also seen vertical integration where you have different people who are different parts of the creative process. Like you might have an editor, you might have a photographer, then you might have an actual actor of some sort, and then you have somebody else who does something else in the creative space, and then they all collaborate together to put together a piece of, you know, production or whatever, you know, like a reel or a video or something like that. I've seen that as well. That tends to go really well. So that's another way. If you're stingy and you're scared to collaborate with other people in your niche, and you don't want to give any of your competition any shine, you can do a vertical collaboration. So like again, collaborate with an editor, collaborate with a videographer, and post your content across all of their platforms, and that's one way to help. We got a question in the queue though. I don't know if you want to grab it.
I do see that. Yep, I'm about to get to it for sure. Let's get to that question. That's Walter. So Walter asks, what are 3 important ways that creators should learn how to collaborate with other creators when first starting out? That's a good question, sir.
Who wants to take the first stab?
I'll jump out there. So I think for creators, creators first starting out, I'll say just like Jeremy stated, and just like the guy stated in the video, if you're not collaborating, you're missing out on an important piece of creating content. So this could be part of your content strategy to collaborate. Collaborations, it's a win-win for all parties. It literally is. It's a win-win for all parties. And for those just starting out, I know for myself, you may have people that are afraid to be on camera. Well, being on camera with somebody else is definitely a move to help you, because you're having a conversation with somebody else. Not only that, but you got somebody out there you can have this conversation with. So doing collaborations, starting out, I would say just reach out to those who you want to collaborate with. Like Charlton stated, they don't even have to be in your niche. I mean, it's been so much that I've learned from people that I've had as guests. I think about the attorney. Her name is slipping my mind. But I've had her on twice. But she talks about how, her name is Tammy, She Embodied. But she talks about how she started her YouTube channel just by going live. She said, I'm going to just go live. I can't remember if it was every week or every day, where she would just post going live and just talk about legal matters and talk about business things. And before you know it, it got catchy, it caught on, and people started asking her questions, and she just became, this YouTube sensation. But this is an attorney. And of course, I'm not an attorney, but all the information that she talks about, I need to know, like creating content, going live. I wasn't going live as much as I do now. So there's things I can learn from her, like how she went live, or what did you use for video editing? How did you upload your content? So everybody's creating content, so it doesn't matter what niche they're in. Just look for somebody that you feel you can collaborate with, somebody that that speaks your same niche, or somebody that's they're putting out positive information. Not only that, but they're an encourager. If you watch their content and if you listen to them, you can tell how somebody speaks, if they're a person that I want to collaborate with them or not, because you can hear it in their voice that they're real helpful. They seem like they really want to help those that they serve. So I would say just reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody that you want to collaborate with. You just never know who will say yes. Like they said, the actor. I just reached out, and surprisingly, I got a call back, or I got an email, and before you know it, I'm on a conversation. I'm on a call with his wife, and we're talking, and so, and that's a bond and a relationship that I've built, and so if I need to reach back out, I can reach back out. So you just never know. But I would say don't be afraid to reach out, and just do it. But it's a win-win for all parties.
Yeah, I would add to that, a great way that a creator, especially a new creator, can learn how to collaborate is to volunteer on somebody else's production team.
Ooh.
Especially if you're new and you're trying to learn the process. There is a phenomenal content creator out there. Her channel is called Life of Riza. That's Riza. She has over 1 million followers. She does great cinematic videos. But if you listen to her talk about her early, stages of production of content creation, she actually went and volunteered at this other guy's who was another content creator, had over 1 million followers, and she just worked as a camera holder. She was just a second camera, and all she did was help them like film, and by just being around them, she learned the content creation process. And I think that that's a great way to learn. If somebody is willing to allow you to volunteer or even maybe work, just a little bit part-time for a few months, and learn their production process, it's a great way. So I don't know what people's availability looks like. I don't know what your situation looks like, but that's a great collaboration. Like somebody who's high up on the totem pole, who's producing at a really high level, work with them for a season and learn the process.
Yeah, that's the lady that you sent us a video of hers, right? Didn't you send us a video, or?
I don't think that I did.
You didn't send us.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you shared. You shared something, but no, that's great advice. Go volunteer for sure. Jay Reese.
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much said it. I mean, people have to realize, you're trading value uh, when you collaborate, and you're reaching two different sets of communities of people. You may uh, reach their audience, and they'll reach your audience. So it's a mutual benefit. Now, some may say, "Well, you don't have that many followers," uh, but you're going to gain new followers. I
That's
mean,
true.
it's not like you don't have any. Uh, so I think it's mutually beneficial for both parties. I know a certain creator. I think his name is Jamal, and I think they go by the creatives or Jamal and Chan or something like that. Um, but they actually have a script writer now, so
Mm.
that's a collaboration. You don't even necessarily have to be on camera doing it. Like you can write scripts for people, and they create the content. Like as far as the acting goes, so like it's gonna get to the point where like people are creating whole movies on there and don't even need to go through Hollywood. Like they collaborate and create their own productions.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Collabs is it's a win-win for sure. And if you're not collabing, you're missing out. But I think too, just like we come on here, I think every time we come together, even in our conversations, we're learning something from each other. So that's another thing about collaborations that you can learn from somebody else, and just even showing up on somebody else's platform, like Jeremy says, that gets to introduce you to their audience. Maybe they don't know you, so you get to be introduced to somebody else's audience, and all of that, you get to introduce somebody else to your audience. So it's a win-win. Great info, sirs. Great question, Walter. Let's see. We got some.
Question. Yeah.
Let's see. Love, love, love. Collabs. It generates excitement, blends storytelling, tones, and brings in community. The audience experience unexpected interactions and cross promotes. Yes, sounds like Deviant is a content creator. Just by that, that's what that sounds like to me. I mean, I know Jeremy. I know you edit. You do a lot of stuff, Jeremy. But I don't know. Deviant maybe. She may
I
be
was
like
gonna
that.
say
Yeah.
we gotta have a ladies panel.
You
We
know
gotta get a
what? You are.
creative.
Yes, sir. We got. Yes. You know what? I think that's a great idea. We can bring some ladies on, content creators.
Yeah, she seemed like she's a pretty decent actor.
She is. She's pretty good. I've seen. She is. Yeah. Got to bring them on. But no, great point. She says great points. All right. Walter got a follow up question. Let's see what Walter's saying. Here's a follow up for you guys. How important would it be to do a discovery call with a person before bringing them on your show? Ooh.
Incredibly important.
Yes.
It's incredibly important. I'm glad he asked that question.
Charlton.
I think Walter's another person you need to bring on this show.
Oh yeah, Walter's good.
No, yeah, that's a really good question, and I think that people need to understand like magic doesn't happen on accident. You know, the discovery call will give you an opportunity to get to know the person, get to know their background. You guys can go over the type of questions that you want to ask, and then that the person who's getting questions asked can begin to prepare answers. I think it's nice to be authentic and shoot from the cuff sometimes. Maybe some follow-up questions can be impromptu, but during a discovery call, you should be able to go over the main set of questions that are going to be asked during any type of production so that you're not just up there saying, and trying to figure out what you're going to say in the heat of the moment, because people's attention span is way too short for you to try to wing it.
Yes.
You need to know exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it.
Facts. Yes.
Yeah, I would say too, like even before the discovery call, I think you should do a very thorough investigation of like their platform, their pages. You may see one video and you're like, oh yeah, I want to collab with them, and then you get to scrolling, you're like, maybe that's not a good fit. So I say do your research first as well, even before you get to the discovery call, and then once you get there, then you talk, and then it could be a match as far as what collaboration goes. When both of you put your minds together and your ideas and see if it could work.
Yep. So true. Yeah, I agree with that. Finding out what the person is, what they, what y'all want to talk about, definitely, give it some time. Follow their content, see what they create, see how they speak, and you know, just get a good understanding. Like Jeremy says, investigate them and just see, what they're all about, and that
Yeah,
can tell
because
you.
you might see them like on their content, but talking in that discovery call, you might be like, "Whoa, this person is way different than
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were." This
Yeah.
might not be a good collaboration.
Yes. That is so true. Yeah. So yeah, discovery call is important for sure. Good question, Walt. Walter's on it tonight. All right. Let's get to our next video. Let's see. We did that one collabs. And that was by the way, the person that was talking about collabs, that is
Said decent, I'm extraordinary. Go ahead, DBM.
that was Brock Johnson. Brock Johnson is his name. Oh yeah,
Excuse me, correction.
Deviant says she decent. She says I'm extraordinary. Ooh,
Better get it right.
better watch it, Jeremy. We're gonna see you in the cast, Jeremy. Watch it. Watch it. All right. Let's get to our next video. Let me see. Okay, here we go. This is Omar. Dr. Omar. See what he's talking about.
Guy,
A
right
lot
there.
of your
yeah.
videos, a lot of your podcasts don't connect because it's not in form of service. It's selfish. Business does not work that way. Business is beautiful when both parties benefit. So we got to put the viewer first. One of my mentors, Sean Cannell, would say, the creator who understands the viewer best wins. If you chase the wrong thing, once you arrive, you get nothing. So I don't want you to chase subscribers. Chase greatness. If you chase greatness and you look in the scriptures how to become great, Jesus said, you become great by being a great servant.
Whoa.
Yeah. He always drops bars, man. And I love that he's like a Christian and a content creator, you
Correct.
know. So he's always gonna merge those two worlds. I like Omar a lot. So
Yes. Omar says some great things.
yeah.
He says to be a
Charlton, can you
servant.
talk about that? Because I think there's sometimes like negative connotation when it comes to being a Christian and creating content. Like you can't do those two things. You can't be a Christian and create content. That's like some negativity there. Would you say?
Well, I think certain topics may be taboo, you know. And I don't know what all you're saying about, as far as you say negative goes, that could be a lot of different things. I think some of the slack that Omar gets sometime is because he talks about wealth building in addition to content creation, you know, and he weaves that in with Christian faith as well. So sometimes people, unfortunately, misconstrue him and send him down the prosperity gospel lane, and that's not what he's doing. He's not the type of person that says you give God $100, God will make you a millionaire. That's not what he's saying at all. He's just saying that more along the lines that I can't remember the proverb right now, but there's a proverb that says that something along the lines that if you have something that's of worth, sell it to the person rather than give it to them. I have to find that proverb because I'm misquoting it. But if you have something of value, Scripture gives us the clear latitude to sell it for market price. You don't have to give things away just because you're a Christian. That's not the requirement. You know, Scripture gives us a responsibility to give to the needy, give to the poor, help those that are disenfranchised. But it doesn't mean that you take everything that you have of value and just give it away. That's not what this is. But I think that you know, Scripture says that if any man strives to build a house, you have to count up the cost first. And I think when it comes to building an online platform and building an online presence, you have to be strategic. You have to take the time, and none of this stuff happens by accident. Your favorite preacher, your favorite pastor, your favorite ministry, they did not happen by accident. That is a business that is registered with some state somewhere. They've got bank accounts. They may have, financial instruments, loans. They're strategic in all of this stuff. And there's nothing wrong with you as a content creator being strategic as well. You're the beauty of content creating. And we're going to get into this in one of the later clips, is that, yeah, there's compensation in this. There's revenue in this, and you need to be a good steward of that. From a biblical standpoint, when you think about the parable of the three servants, how they were all given different amounts of money, and the expectation was for them to grow what they were given. So if you think about it from that aspect, whether you do Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, they're probably going to give you some type of compensation. And that, I consider that to be a blessing from God, especially when you're doing ministry. Be a good steward of it, make it grow so that you can continue to do more ministry. But I wanted to say something real quick in response to Omar's, clip here where he talked about being a servant. And I think that this is a huge area sometimes where content creators miss, because they want to create content that they're passionate about or that resonates with them, but they're not honest with the fact that their content is not meeting a need. If you can, this applies to business as well as content creation. If you can find something that meets a need, that will have its own audience, that will have its own market, its own demand. So that's what you really have to ask yourself at the end of the day. As you're producing content, what need are you meeting? How are you making people's lives easier? What is something that presents itself as an obstacle for people, and you're helping them get over that obstacle? For me, it was Sunday school preparation. There are a lot of people that love the idea of being a great Sunday school teacher, but like we just talked about the reading thing, nobody has the time to read. So for me, what did I try to do? I tried to create Sunday school videos to, number one, demonstrate how to teach the lesson. And then I created notes, and I sell the notes on my website. So if you don't have time to study, or maybe you're not really good at trying to figure out what to pick out, and maybe you just need something in front of you when you stand in front of the class, look, you can just go through the notes. Introduction, bullet point 1, do, and you just walk through the whole thing. But I'm trying to meet a need, And I've had people reach out to me, people that know me personally. They were like, hey, Charlton, my weekend got away from me. Literally had a good friend of mine. He probably wouldn't even mind me saying his name out loud, but he was just like, this week has been so busy. I was out preaching this place over here. I went to a music conference over here. He was like, and I got to teach Sunday school in the morning. Can you send me your notes? Boom. Send them the notes. I don't have time to study. So you're meeting a need. This is not just me, trying to show people what I know about the Bible. That I don't care about that. It's not about what I know. Yeah. I'm trying to empower you to be a teacher. That's what the Bible says. It says by now you all ought to have been teachers, but you have needed somebody teach you over again. So we should all be teachers. So it's like think about that when it comes to your content creation. What need are you meeting? And that's what Omar is saying in you being a servant.
Yes. Jay Reese?
I would kind of piggyback on that. So, people kind of say, oh, well, you make marriage and funny content. Like, how does that meet a need? Like, it's meeting a need because I have a passion for like marriage and family. I get messages from people who they're struggling in their marriage and stuff like that. So we try to bring an aspect to marriage and family life. Like everything is not as serious as we sometimes make it to be. Some stuff we take too serious. Like it's okay to laugh in marriage, and not only do I do the comedy, I'll post like inspirational. I'll ask questions. Like today, I made a post about what's something that your spouse does that you love. So for Devion, she always talks about my hugs. Like will be everything she needs when she come in from a stressful day at work. And for me, I talked about how, it's the looks that she still gives me after being married for 17 years. So when you make little posts like that, it can get, people who may have been going through something in their marriage to realize, okay, maybe I was, taking this a little bit too serious. What are some things that I love about my spouse? And they can get to thinking about it and they go have that conversation. So that's the kind of need that I'm trying to meet, the family and marriage aspect need, where people need encouragement. They need something to lift their day, some way that, can help them in their marriage or their, relationship. And that's why also, we're going to get back to the podcast and talking about different stuff, but that's the need that I'm trying to meet. And if I can kind of give some clarity and understanding on that and on what's made us successful in our marriage, then they'll learn from that and then they can reciprocate that to somebody else, like Charlton was saying.
Yep. So true. Yeah, some people not making it a month in marriage. So,
Yeah.
what y'all doing is definitely is needed. Like you said, a lot of people don't think you can laugh and be funny. Even some Christians don't think, you should be funny. You should create comedic things. But yeah, some stuff is funny. But I like what y'all said too. But yeah, with Omar's that video, I think he's just, I mean, if you just sum it up, he's saying, think about the people you are serving in your community, right? Don't just look at, like he says, just chasing subscribers. I just want to get 1,000 subscribers. I just want to get 10,000 subscribers. But what about, are you meeting the need? Are you serving your community? And I think that's what it comes down to. Don't get lost, in the grind where all you're now thinking about is just the next subscriber versus who am I serving? Like, it's people out there that really need help. Like Charlton said, it's people. I mean, I've been on his platform where it's people, they got questions, right? They're trying to figure out, hey, I got to teach this lesson. So his notes that he creates is helpful. He breaks it down in a way to where, oh, okay, I don't have to be as stressed when I get up to teach. I got all these bullet points. So I think overall, of course, like Omar is saying, don't get lost in the hustle where all you're thinking about is just maybe the financial gain or just the subscribers. But think about the people you're serving. Try to create content that you are meeting some type of need, because if not, too, another thing to do, you could just burn out, where it's just like, there's no purpose behind it. So you really want to make sure there's some real purpose and just helping people, because it's people out here that they need help. And, you may be that person that has that answer. So think about that.
I'm going to say something too to clear up a common misconception. Okay.
Yeah.
There is financial benefit in making content, right? And there's levels to that. But I think there's a big misconception that if you are a content creator, like, you automatically a millionaire or something, or you rich. I get inboxes from people like, look, we're not rich right now, so I think somebody made a skit on that, and they were talking about how people think like they see them in public and they'd be like, oh, I'm like, kind of asking for handouts. But there's people that make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but as you continue to grow, and your community grows, then there'll be greater financial benefit. But when you first start out, don't think you just gonna hop and create content and you instant millionaire. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't work like that. If you think that, yeah, you're doing it for the wrong reason, for sure. Unless there's something you two want to tell me about that I'm missing,
I'm not a millionaire yet.
Yes. All right. Let's go to our next video. See what we got. Just do a service. Okay, yeah, I think this is the one that I came up with. All right, this is let me get a name right. This is Corral Santoro. Corral.
Discipline looks boring. Have you ever watched someone wake up at 5 a.m., go to the same gym, eat the same meals, do the same thing every day? Boring, right? Until one day, their body changes. Their energy's different. Their confidence walks in first before they even say a word. Discipline looks boring until the results walk in. Same thing in business. You post content when no one's watching. You pitch when everyone says no. You show up when it feels like nothing is moving. It's repetitive, it's quiet, it's invisible to the world until one day you've built something no one can ignore. The product, the brand, the power behind your name. Everyone wants the reward of discipline, but not the repetition that makes it real. Don't chase excitement. Build consistency, because boring builds empires.
Yeah, she's golden, man. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, but that just being consistent. I think we talked about it. Consistency. Don't look good.
But it's not even that she just mentioned the consistency. She mentioned the boring aspect of it.
It is boring.
And I think that's what people need to understand. That's another thing, to piggyback what Jeremy Reese was saying about how you're not going to be an instant millionaire. This is also, it's not always sunshine and, cotton candy. Like, there's a grind to this. And I think, gosh, I'm trying to remember his name. He's like a Christian comedian, content creator on Instagram, real popular. His name is
Kev on Stage.
Right. Kev on Stage. Thank you. Yeah, he posted a video and he said one time, he's like, I make 3,000 videos a year, and he was like, 2,950 of them, he said, I don't feel like making. He says, maybe I feel like making 30 of them, but he said the majority of them I don't feel like making. But he said, I do it because that's what it takes in order to grind this thing out. And that's another, that goes back to the whole service thing. If you're looking for motivation to be consistent during the boring seasons, you need to realize that you're meeting a need somewhere. Maybe that'll help you going. But it's just like, man, you have to be consistent. You have to create a schedule. You have to protect that schedule, defend that schedule, and load even when you don't feel like it.
Yes. I heard I think he's what do you call it? He's like a gym rat, but he trains people, right? He's a personal trainer. And he even said, there's days I get up, I don't feel like working out. I don't. But he says, I do it because I know, the consistency and doing it is what's going to help. But even for people like that, you would think, man, this guy, he's cut up, he's ripped up. But there are times he goes to the gym, he doesn't feel like working out. So doing
Jeremy can test that better than the rest of us.
Well, you're right about that. Jeremy's a gym rat. Jeremy's a gym rat. But no, it looks boring, but those steps really matter. And doing it, talked about it earlier, just the small things, before you know it, you get on the scale and, you're down 2 pounds. So just got to keep going. Jay Reese.
Yeah, I would say consistency, and you get to that point where you don't feel like doing it, and I'm more so I'll just try to push through it even if I don't feel like it. Like, okay, I gotta do it. There's sometimes, and when you create couple content, you got 2 people involved. So sometimes Devion might not feel like doing it, but she'll push through it. She'll tell me, you better get me right now while I'm feeling like it. Let's shoot some videos up, because once I get in the bed, it's over. So I can agree with Kev on Stage on that. Like, you have to really be able to grind with content creation. It ain't, don't be expecting it every time you record it, you're all happy and everything. Like, you got to really put it on. Like, okay, I'm about to do this, even though I'm going to get into character, and I'm going to create this content. So
yeah, facts for sure. Let's see. We got a few comments. Devion left some comments. Let's throw them up on the screen. Not that one. We already did that one. She said she wasn't decent, but she did say she said she was extraordinary, Jeremy. Just a reminder. But no, I think she was talking to Charlton's comment. That's Barry Charlton. Serving through content creation can be educating, entertaining, or to empower. You should align your skills with your audience needs for it to truly matter. So true. Well said, Devion.
Yeah, I really like the marriage skits. I like the comedy stuff, man, because like Jeremy said, it teaches us to laugh, about life, because it helps us realize we're not the only ones who go through stuff like that. Like I remember Jeremy and Davion, they made a skit about the wife putting her cold feet on you or something like that in the bed. I can identify with that. I think you guys made a clip about as you get in the bed, she asks you to do something,
Get some water, yeah.
And it's like, I gotta be honest with you, like I resonated with that so much. I think I forwarded it to Meek, and I was like, "You always do this to me," Like, and she wouldn't mind me saying that. She had this knack that, like, for a while, like I would text her like on my way home from work, and it takes me like an hour and a half to get home. Like, do you want me to pick anything up? She would say anything, and as soon as my car gets into the driveway, she's like, "Can you go pick up such and such?" I'm like, "I'm home now." So when you guys made that video, I was like, I resonate with that so much, and it made me laugh, about it. So.
Yeah, yep, good stuff. Good stuff for sure, Jeremy. Y'all doing some good work, sir. Let's see what Devion said. What keeps a person coming back is the fact that the content is not boring, and that's true. The content y'all creating is not boring. I mean, y'all spread it out. It's broad. And I be saying to myself, like, how did y'all do that? Like, how in the world are y'all doing that? So it's very creative.
You have to be able to put your spin on it. Like, you can't be coming on there all monotone. I'm going to act like it don't. They're gonna swipe like you ain't hooked them. Sometimes, we talk about the hook, your personality and what you say in the first 3 seconds and how you say it could be the hook, because they like, okay, this person is something about them I want to keep watching. So I would agree with that. Can't be boring.
I'm seeing some coaching and training how to do hooks, acting. I'm sensing the new some new stuff coming out of the Reese household. Devion says, I definitely don't feel like it, but when I do put on my wig, lip chap, and meet him in the area where we're shooting, I come with it for our audience. All right, Devion. That is kudos to you, Devion. We appreciate you showing up, Devion, because y'all do a great job. Y'all do.
Excellent job.
Man, for sure. Love it. All right, we're on our last one, I believe. And this one is Omar again. Talking about YouTube.
Excuse me, sir. Why do most people fail on YouTube?
Oh, dude, sorry. I was just looking at my script for the question you just asked me. Most people fail on YouTube because poor packaging. They think by uploading videos to YouTube, they will succeed. And YouTube is not a video platform. It's a packaging platform. They don't have a system in place to come off strong. Most people should just start renting out a studio, shooting with somebody else's equipment, somebody else's editing knowledge, and then you can just focus on the content itself and the packaging. The next thing is team. YouTube is a team sport. And if you think that you're gonna win on this platform, that's the hardest platform to win on, all by yourself, you're going up against some giants that have big teams sponsoring your own videos. If you are in business, you are highly encouraged to just say this video was sponsored by the next step in my business. And if you need this help, you should go ahead and click the link in the description. Also use QR codes, but sponsor your own videos and you won't need to grow as fast, because if you're making money from your YouTube efforts, chances are you won't get discouraged and you'll just keep it going.
That dude be dropping fire, man. Like, everything he puts out, I consume it, man. That's the blueprint right there.
Yeah.
People wonder how to succeed on YouTube. That is literally the blueprint right there.
For packaging. So he says you should have a team. I think for most of us, we don't start out with the production team, of course.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something you get as you grow. I would feel like, but once you get to that point, and you can bring in a team, I say definitely do it because it's gonna allow you to create more content. Because like you take me for example, I'm doing everything. So, and sometimes I work 50 hours a week on my 9 to 5. So, uh, you can imagine how much more efficient you can be if you have a team where if I just have to shoot the video and I send it to an editor on the team and they do that, or maybe I have somebody who actually does the filming, I don't have to be worried about like I think if you have a team, it makes everything more cohesive and you can create more content. So
Yeah, and sometimes a team is not always a team that does things for you on a week by week in a video by video basis. Sometimes it's a team of people that are investing knowledge in you. Like you guys are part of my team, you know,
Yep.
and the people that show you better processes to streamline, you know, what you're doing, uh, to shorten the process of your output. So I mean, you know, like you said, a team could be expensive. Like I had an editor that was making reels for me. He was taking my long form content and making reels, and he was charging me $25 a pop, man. And I was paying that guy $500 a month, you know, to give me one reel a day. And if anybody knows anything about upload, you like requirements, like uploading one a day isn't enough. Like you have to upload a lot, you know. So I mean, was I gonna double it and pay this guy a G to give me 2 reels a day? Like it takes a lot, you know. So I definitely say, you know, uh think about what that team means. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can have a team of people if you can afford it, but if you can't, you know, just get good advice on how to streamline your process. What I really liked what he talked about was the poor packaging.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really where a lot of people miss it when you talk about thumbnail, title, and what you are posting about. Again, some people look at content creation like a passion project and they're like, oh, I want to talk about this. That's great. But do people want to hear that? That's the question. So you really do have to package the right content. And that goes with making content with your audience in mind. And that takes some work. It takes some research. And I think we talked about this on last time, but there are some platforms out there that have people on their team that sit up and do research all day. Marquez Brownlee has talked about how he has 2 people on his team that sit up and just research, you know, post ideas. He has 2 people that he pays a full-time salary to that just sit up and do research all day. Like that's wild, you know. But that's how important packaging is. You know, you can outsource the rest, but you need to have it starts with a good idea. So anyway,
For sure. No,
I can talk about this all day. This one, he laid it out right here.
No, he dropped some gems on this one for sure. And yeah, just like you said, just those 4. That's the key. That's the blueprint for getting better. And like you said, just tweaking it and researching and finding out if it's not working. Figure out what does work. And like you said, you can't just put anything out there. It's like, do people want to hear about that? Is that something that serves? Is that something that, you know, meets somebody's needs? So all of that goes with the package and with the system itself. So, but yeah, I think that's good. I like what he had to say. I listened to him too. He has a lot of great stuff to share.
Yeah, and that sponsor yourself, that I never even thought about that.
You could sponsor
You know,
yourself.
or even just sponsor somebody who you know personally or something like that. You guys can sponsor. We can sponsor each other and stuff like that. That's
can.
wild.
Yeah, you can.
yeah, that's a good idea.
I've sponsored my wife's candles in one video once when I did a live. I think I sponsored hers because she had an event or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got products, of course you can. This video is brought to you by, you know, hey, Just Teach. And by the way, we got notes available on our website.
Yeah.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, and for me, what sponsorship looks like, it could be somebody who you know, wants their product on one of the videos, like some way incorporated. So, you know, I did the skit with the candles where it's like you can literally sponsor somebody even with a skit. Like
Yeah.
it's all different ways that comes to that sponsorship. Like I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. Like, a lot of people want to, and even and you can do that even if you're not monetized. So a lot of people think, well, I can't be monetized because I haven't reached, the platform's requirements. But you can sponsor yourself. So great way to put yourself out there, promote yourself, and sponsor yourself. Speaking of Marcus Brownlee, I saw his very first video, one of his very first videos that he did, and it's like this guy now he has like 20 million followers, and
Yeah.
That's
just
crazy.
looking back at his very first video, and he was doing reviews, like, man, this guy is. But that's what shows you, just being consistent, putting something out there that people, serving a need, and look at him now. He's still doing reviews. He's still putting content out there. Tells you it can
Yeah,
work.
he's been in the game a minute, but
Man, he has.
I just like people like him and Omar because they study their craft and then they have like systems that they can communicate to people. Like I learn a lot from them, of just about how to structure my platform.
Yes. Yes, and yes. Structure. I think that's a key too, just not just putting anything out there, but you got some structure and there's purpose and intent behind it. It's key. It's key. We got a few comments here I want to throw up here on the screen. Man, y'all know we've been at this an hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah, it goes by fast.
I know, right?
I still got to record tonight.
Oh, you got to record. Just Teach got to record. All right, we're going to make sure he get out of here. All right, I think this was to Devion doing her acting thing. Tasha says, yes, you do, Devion. Devion be doing it. Let me see. She was talking about Omar's hook. She liked it. That's hilarious and a perfect hook. And then she says,
Yeah.
he said that he was reviewing his script to answer. Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
That was funny.
That was fine.
Reviewing his script to answer. Going to have to check out more content from each of those you all have shared tonight. Very insightful, motivating, and thought-provoking. Yes, it is. Good stuff. I mean, I think we're all learning. We're still trying to perfect our craft. We're still working on things. So we appreciate y'all showing up. Miss Florence is here tonight. Hey, Miss Florence, thank you for being here. Say we talking her language. Well, gentlemen, we have come to the end of the road. Any final thoughts? This has been a great.
This has been good. I was serious about getting the ladies on here, man.
Maybe,
Maybe
that's a good idea. That's a good
if I can get the
idea.
missus to pinch hit from me next time, she can come in here and give you. I'm sure she's got some insight. She's more creative than I am. That's the photographer right there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We gotta definitely get them on here because the women their minds think different. So
Yeah.
I think their idea of content creation is gonna be a whole different approach. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's good. But I think too, because they are women, they can help other women creators out there who maybe deal with some of the same things they're thinking. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
great idea. So, ladies, get ready. We're gonna be reaching out.
Yeah.
We're gonna be reaching out. Sure. Get y'all in here. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? I appreciate y'all showing up again, as always. Bringing the gems.
Yes, sir. I just think, with everything that we talked about, I'm gonna stick with what I was talking about, collaborating. Lean into those collaborations if you want to try to grow. Especially with it only being 3% of the posts, like that's not a
Yeah,
lot.
that is
I
a
mean,
low stat. I did not know that. Not on
yeah,
Instagram.
and that's why I kind of made that video last week. I was just like, can we start collaborating more, like,
Yeah.
and help each other in the process? I would say, also like Charlton was saying, like think more of, meeting the need and being as serving somebody some way. In my case, I'm trying to serve married and couples and family, people with kids. I'm trying to serve and meet their needs some way. Now, I'm not a therapist or nothing like that, but I can give my personal experiences and things like that to help people in their marriage and be successful, because that is the world we living in now. Like, the divorce rate is ridiculous. So if I could try to give my perspective or anything to help somebody along the way, that's what I'm trying to do when it comes to our channel and our platform.
Yes, sir.
It looks like somebody's trying to promote something. Real F Donald.
Yeah,
Says get ready for February. Florence.
Let's see what Florence. Yeah, let's see what Florence.
Iron Sharpen Iron Summit. She got something coming on.
Florence, you gotta. I think I've seen that maybe on your channel, but maybe you can elaborate on that, Florence. Iron sharpens iron. It's in February.
What kind of platform does she have?
She talks about yeah.
She said Brian.
She talks about productivity and being more efficient, as far as
Nice.
oh yeah, she has some very good content for sure. Actually, I was on her show. I got to get her. I need to get her on here as well, because she talks about just being effective and just tweaking small things with email and different things to be more efficient and be more productive in the work that you do. So she definitely is a resource for that. So yes.
It sounds like to me like she uses her platform to push her in-person her in-person production. Like, she's pushing it towards a summit or something like that. Is that right? Is it in person or is it online?
Is that online? I think I saw that on there. Donald, Florence, you gotta elaborate on it.
That's dope though. It's a good idea.
Yes, for sure. Iron Sharpens Iron Summit. We'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, I think
Reach out.
everybody looks for opportunities to be more productive.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it goes down to collaboration. We talked about it, collaborating. When you go to other people's channel, you can find out things they do and ways you can assist and help. So it's all there. 100% virtual. Okay. We're gonna definitely check it out, Florence. I'm gonna be in touch. I'm gonna make sure I'm following to make sure I don't miss nothing on your side. All right. What was I doing? Oh, I was sharing channels. That's what I was doing. All right, here we go. We got Jeremy and Devion.
Year February. Okay, nice. Okay.
Whole Summit for Black Creators. Okay.
Okay.
We gonna hit you up, Florence.
For sure.
Yes. All right. Jeremy and Devion show, of course. They're all on YouTube. We'll put the details in the chat of this video. And we got Mr. Just Teach as well. Make sure y'all are following. Let's see.
Put 24-hour boss up there.
And of course me. I mean, y'all watching the channel now. 24 Hour Boss. She says this is year 5. You said collaborate. So okay. So she's all about the collaboration. Yes. All right. So there's an opportunity right there, right? Look at that.
Yep.
She just showed up. She showed up on the platform and she introduced us to another way we can collab and a way we can assist and, be there. So just showing up, sometimes you just never know what'll happen. You just never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Walt says Great Summit. That Florence does each year. Okay. We're going to check you out, Florence, for sure. Well, gentlemen, I want to say appreciate y'all again. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you for having us, man. It's always fun.
It is. It's always fun. Yeah. It's been a good one. I appreciate all the insight and information. And listen, I want to say I thank everybody for watching. All the misses and spouses that was watching, appreciate y'all. Everybody that liked and commented, thank y'all for being interactive. And the questions, we definitely appreciate it. Made it definitely a entertaining conversation. And we definitely appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Charlton, Jeremy, thank y'all again, sirs. We appreciate you all. And hey, we'll see y'all. Our next one is actually, we got 2 this month. So the next one I think is the 30th, right?
2 weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks. So not next week, but the Thursday after I think it's the 30th. We're going to be back again, chatting it up. So, hey, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. And we'll see y'all in the next one.